If you want your Nikon Z6III displays to only show you the information that you need, you're going to learn how to customize those displays in this video, along with some other important tips for using the Nikon displays. This video is a portion of a free preview video from my Nikon Z6III tutorial course that contains a bunch of different videos and text organized in a logical manner to help you learn the Z6III with PDF downloads that you can reference offline. And you can check out even more free previews of that course at photocourses.link/Z63. And if you do want to sign up for the full course, please use the code TUBE20 to get 20% off. So here's a portion of that video, how to customize your displays on the Nikon Z6III. Now let's look at some ways to customize our displays. D10 View Mode, Photo Live View. We referenced that earlier. This allows you to set whether or not you want your exposure and image settings previewed in the live view. Show effects of settings. This is going to let you see how your picture control, white balance, and exposure settings are going to affect your final processed photo. What you see in the live view here is not what your raw photo will look like if you're recording raw. If you're working with studio strobes, you can press the multi-selector right and choose only when flash is not used to be able to see your composition better in dark studio environments. Adjust for ease of viewing will give you more of a DSLR style preview in the displays, where you're just looking at the scene without any picture styling settings applied, which you may want to do if you are only recording the raw file format. Pressing the multi-selector right will let you select auto or custom. Custom lets you choose which settings are previewed and how. Starlight view for photo live view. This is going to brighten the scene in front of you, which we saw earlier can help you focus in dark scenes, but it's also used to help you compose in dark scenes, like if you do astrophotography. Depending on how dark the scene is, it may take a few seconds for the live view to settle to something that's usable, so just don't move the camera around too fast. This requires that you move the camera you compose quite slowly. Warm display colors. You can use this option to reduce the strain on your eyes and/or preserve your night vision in dark environments. All of the symbology, the menus, and all of the overlays on the screens are going to turn an orange-red color, and there are two mode options in this menu. Mode 1 enables this red symbology for shooting mode, the menus, and playback mode. The live view, the scene that you see through the screen, is also going to be in warm tones. And this is my preference to get the full benefits of this mode. You're just seeing a monochrome image through the viewfinder. It's just going to be in warm tones rather than black and white. Mode 2 is like Mode 1, except that the live view preview, the scene in front of you, is not going to be altered. That is still going to be in normal color, but all of the other symbols on the screen are going to be that red color. You can also change the brightness of the warm display setting in this menu for when you enable it. If D13 LCD illumination is on, the control panel backlight will be on whenever the camera is in standby mode, powered on, ready to shoot. You can turn that on if you need to, but I think a much easier way is to use the backlight button next to that control panel to turn that light on and off. Image frame, if enabled, will show you a very thin white border around the frame in both the viewfinder and the monitor. You can disable it if you want to, but I find this helps frame the image, as the name implies. In grid type, you can choose the type of grid overlay that you'll have on your screen. If that is enabled in the D19 and D20 shooting display customization menus, and we'll look at that in just a minute. There are 5 options here. You can see examples of what they all are as you select them. The 3x3 rule of thirds is probably the most popular and my preference. Virtual horizon type. Like grid type, is where you'll choose the type of virtual horizon if it's enabled for your displays. Type A will show the levels in the center of the screen, and Type B will move them off to the side and the bottom. You can customize your displays for photo mode in D19 and D20, and for video mode in G18 and G19. Whatever you have set here, this is what's going to happen when you press the display button when either looking at the monitor or looking through the viewfinder. When you press that display button, your screens, your displays, are going to cycle through different overlays, and this is where you'll customize those overlays. You can have up to 5 different overlays for the monitor and 4 for the viewfinder. Disable the display options that you don't want to have in the rotation by highlighting them and press OK, and then you can customize the displays that you do want by highlighting those and pressing the multi-selector right. You'll see a preview of what that display is going to look like as you check or uncheck the available options. Simple is just going to show you your basic shooting mode, exposure information, battery, and shots remaining. Detail is going to show you additional information all over the screen, like your focus, shooting, and image settings. Enabling touch controls will display the touch screen options available to you while you're shooting by showing you a box around those touchscreen options. Virtual Horizon will enable the virtual horizon type that you chose in that previous menu. Histogram is going to show you a small histogram in the lower right. This is called brightness information in the video custom settings. Framing Grid enables the grid overlay that you set in the grid type submenu. Center Indicator displays some crosshairs in the center of the screen if you need to reference the exact center. Center Weighted Area will overlay the size of that center weighted metering area that you set in the B custom settings group. This option is not available for video modes. And finally, F8 reverse indicators. That's going to flip how the exposure metering scale looks in your displays.